Hi, I'm Kelly from Moreton Bay Organics and welcome to today's video. Today I want to talk about 3 different fertilizers that we love to use in our veggie patch and our gardens in general. We highly recommend these to all of our clientele that purchase seedlings from us, and we want to share this information with you too. We've used them for years and years, and we just really love them, and this is all you need to get started and probably use for the long haul as well. Before we get too far into it, I'm not sponsored for this video at all. All the products that I recommend, we are just genuinely happy to share this information with you and for you to try them because we know they work. So without further ado, let's go with number 1, sea salt. So sea salt is a seaweed liquid fertilizer. There's 3 main reasons why we like to use it, and the first one is during planting or transplanting, or in a part of that is any periods of stress to the plant. So it helps reduce stress to the plant, it helps settle them in a lot quicker and focus on building their root systems as quickly as possible. And it helps with reducing heat stress because we're in Brisbane, it gets super hot in summer, so plants tend to struggle a little bit throughout that time, and if like this year we've had a fairly cool winter as well, they sort of don't grow as fast or as productive. So it helps with any period of stress, including transplantation. The other one is that it helps provide really strong immunity to the plants. It keeps them super healthy to the point where it actually helps to be a pest repellent to things like aphids and chewing bugs to plants like broccoli, cauliflower, your lettuces and stuff like that are really prone to those bugs. It's not going to get rid of them 100%, but it's certainly because it's building the immunity, it keeps them nice and strong so they're not as attractive to those bugs as a weaker plant. It also absorbs a mineral in there that makes them less tasty as well, so they're less likely to cause a lot of damage. So that's why we like to use that one. The other one is it builds good root growth. It builds good, strong, complex root systems that are full and as deep as possible that they need to grow, which allows them to pick up all the nutrients from the microorganisms in the soil, which is essential to good, strong, healthy growth and good fruiting and yields of your veggies. If you just water and don't fertilize any of your plants, roots tend to stay shallow and don't build complex systems, so they picking up only the essentials out of the soil. So whereas this encourages and stimulates good, strong root growth. So they're the 3 main reasons why we like to use sea salt. The second product, number 2, is Charlie Carp. So Charlie Carp's been around a really long time. It came out when I was a teenager actually, and that's when I started to use it. So I originally started using it because Charlie Carp is a fish, the European carp. It's an introduced species into Australia in our waterways, and the company was developed in aim to help and reduce the carp in our waterways and protect our native fauna and flora. So that's the reason why I started to use it, but also it's proven over many years to be a very successful and helpful fertilizer to keep in your kit for your veggies and natives. You can use it on anything. It doesn't unsettle any sensitive plants. So natives are a little bit fussy about what minerals they can take, and same with some other ornamental plants, but you can definitely use Charlie Carp on pretty much anything. It helps with building immunity as well, and strong, fast growth. So that's what we all want in our gardens. We want our vegetables to grow fast and strong. It keeps the leaves at the most dense nutrient colors, so they're nice dark greens, lush greens, and helps with the flowering and fruiting process as well. So Carp, because they use the whole fish, it provides lots of macro and micronutrients, which is essential to all those things working out for the plant in the long run, and also for the microorganisms to digest and give back to the plant in an available source. The other thing we like about Charlie Carp is it's actually a really good soil health booster. So for the reasons I said just before about the available macro and micronutrients, it provides all the nutrient dense minerals and that for the microorganisms, but it also has this quality of keeping the soil nice and soft and fluffy. It is really good to use in clay soil. It's not going to break clay down like you would expect, like if you use gypsum or something else in the clay. You need to use it in conjunction with composting and adding a bit of extra fresh soil in, but it helps promote livability in the clay soil for the microorganisms. So, and by having all those things in place, it helps break down the clay in the long term. So yeah, so they're the main reasons why we like to use Charlie Carp. And the third one, I don't have a packet with me today because we actually don't use it anymore, but it's called Dynamic Lifter. And the reason why we don't use it anymore is because it's chicken manure, and we have our own chickens and a big coop, and we collect and gather and compost down our own chicken manure these days. But if you don't have that and you don't want to compost it down, Dynamic Lifter is absolutely a great product to use, which we highly recommend because you don't need to do anything. It's ready to use. It's in a pellet. You sprinkle it around according to the instructions. Make sure you follow them. It's a really rich source of nitrogen and some other nutrients as well that are essential. Fruit trees in particular and citrus, absolutely love it. You give it a good feed to them just before springtime, and it really helps stimulate the growth and good, strong, healthy green growth. We also use it in our veggie beds at change of season to help build back into the soil. So not only just for the nutrients, but it adds that quality to the soil, the depth, and keeps that compost-like feel to the soil. So yeah, so that's the third product that we absolutely love to use. Things we can recommend when using fertilizers is make sure you only fertilize in the afternoon, at sunset, or later into the evening. Fertilizing during the day or even in the morning can contribute to burning of the plants, and then it also drying off the leaves when you do foliar spraying, and so they're not absorbing it all, but also it's going to burn the leaves as well as the root systems. So if you do it in the evening, it's nice and cool. They've got time to absorb it overnight, and by the time morning comes, it's most of it's all been absorbed or run off into deep enough into the soil where it's not going to bother the plant. So yeah, so that's the recommendation I have with timing of when to use the fertilizer. But the fertilizers themselves have the instructions on them. The liquid fertilizers will tell you every 2 to 4 weeks, which is absolutely fine. If your plants are happy and singing, going like this, you probably don't need to do it every fortnight. You can probably wean it back to monthly, but if you keep doing it fortnightly, it's okay. It's not going to hurt the plant too much, but if they're looking happy, just a top up is usually enough. But if they're looking a bit sad, not growing as fast as you expect or would like, then make sure you do it the fortnightly regime. The chicken manure, like I said, we do at change of season, but generally for like fruit trees and that, we only do it twice a year, and just before the growth periods for those plants. So springtime is definitely one of them, and for some of them we actually go through autumn for the things that flower and fruit through winter. So yeah, so they're the 3 products we love to use. So Sea Sol, Charlie Carp, and Dynamic Lifter. So they're more than enough to get you started and keeping on going on in the garden for years to come. They're, like I said, they're organic. They're readily available at any good nursery and some hardware stores. And yeah, that's what we use in our veggie patches all the time, in conjunction with some of our own homemade fertilizers as well. And if you're interested in our homemade fertilizers, put a comment down below, and if there's enough interest, we might do some videos on them in the near future, because they're actually really good to use in conjunction with general fertilizing. And they're fun to make. You get to see some science reactions that happen naturally, so the kids would love it as well. So yeah, if you find any value in our video from today, please hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And if you could share the video around so other people can benefit from it as well, that would be great. Well, thanks for your time today, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.